In this video, we will be learning about how to create a VPC with public and private subnet from scratch. For this demo purpose, we will be using the Wizlabs AWS Sandbox environment. So let's begin. Once you are logged in to Wizlabs, you can click on the Wizlabs icon to make sure you are on wizlabs.com and simply go to your dashboard. Once you go to dashboard, you can click on Sandbox, and inside the Sandbox, click on Get Started. For Get Started, click on AWS Sandbox. There are other options available like GCP, Azure, Power BI, Code, or Jupyter. You can use any of them for the different purposes. So let's begin with AWS Sandbox. And Sandbox lifetime, this is just a small lab, so 1 hour will be more than sufficient for me. Let's click on Create Sandbox Environment. Just acknowledge this and click on Start Sandbox. Once you do that, it will take 5 to 10 seconds for the environment to be ready. We will wait for this and then begin to next steps. Once your environment is ready, you can click on Open Console. This will give you an access to AWS account. Just copy the username and password. After you paste the username and password, copy it from the Sandbox environment page. Oh, make sure that you paste it very well and then click on Enter to sign in. Now your AWS account is ready. So for this purpose, we will be using the VPC, private and public subnet. So let's see, type VPC in the search bar and click on VPC. Once you are onto the home page, just click on your VPC. You will be able to see all the VPCs that are already present. As you might know, there is one VPC which is default VPC already being present in your account. So you can ignore this and let's create a VPC from scratch. Now, for those who don't know what is VPC, VPC is AWS Private Virtual Network and Virtual Private Cloud, which helps you launch the resources inside and make your own type of restrictions. So VPC naming tag, let's call it as a my VPC. I'll go with the CIDR which is mentioned here, maybe 10.0.0/24. Okay, let's create the VPC. So VPC is now created. Let's go ahead and create the subnets. So for the subnet creation, I will be creating two subnet. One will be labeled as a private subnet and second one will be labeled as a public subnet. So let's create the private one first, private subnet. And I will choose the availability zone as 1A, but you can go ahead and choose any one of them. And if you select and go with the no preference, AWS will choose one of the random one for you. So I'll go ahead and put the address as 0.0/26. Okay, and for the public subnet, I'll choose the same and then go with the 0.0 slash this will be 0.0/64/26. Okay, so I hope this doesn't overlap. Yes, so we have created two subnets, and if you see here, let me just filter it with the VPC. So VPC uh, having the VPC which we created, we have the 59 available IP addresses. Okay, reason being AWS has reserved the first five, the first four, and the last IP address for its use. Okay, so these are the public and private subnet. Now the next part is to go ahead and configure the route tables. So create a route table, and we will name this as maybe private RT, private route table, and select the VPC, my VPC. Okay, and next one I'll create one more, and I will call that as public route table, public RT for the same my VPC. Once we have created the route table, now it is your time to assign the internet gateway to the public route table. Okay, so let's create this and we will call this as my VPC IG. Make sure to follow the same nomenclature, my VPC IGW. Okay, so we have created this. I will attach this to my available VPC, my VPC, and attach it. And after that, go to your route table, go to your public route table. Okay, make sure that it is part of the VPC which you just created, the my VPC, and go and edit the routes. Okay, now I'll add internet 0.0/0/0 and then go with the internet gateway. Okay, and click on save changes. One of the next part that is remaining is inside the route table, we need to do the subnet association. Okay, so this is my public route table. I will go ahead and click on subnet association. So since this is my private route table, I'll go ahead and choose the private route table, save association. Similarly, for the public route table, I will go ahead and click on subnet association, edit association, and choose the public subnet. Okay, so let's verify if it is having an explicit access. Yes, first let me put the VPC filter in with this one, the VPC which we created. So as soon as you create a new VPC, you will get a main route table. Okay, but if you see the subnet association, there is no subnet association present because we created two route tables. We created two subnets, and both the subnets are explicitly assigned to the route tables. Okay, so this part is done. Now you can go ahead and optionally create the security groups. So for the VPC, there's a default security group already present. I'll go ahead and create a security group. So let's call it as maybe public SSH security group. I'll copy the name and put it into description. Description is required. So you can say public access for all the instances to which it is assigned. Go ahead and change the VPC and put a rule SSH from anywhere IPv4. Okay, and save this. So now your SSH part is done. But what if you want a private SSH? Okay, so you can just simply go here, write the name as private SSH. Okay, copy the name for all private machines, private VMs, virtual machines. Okay, and change the VPC, put the name, go with SSH, and have your custom CIDR of 10.0.0/24. So this is my VPC CIDR. Okay, I have created the security group. So this is pretty much all about this lab, where we have created the VPC, we created subnets. One of the things that you can do more is go to subnet settings and enable this auto assign of public IPv4 addresses. This is also required because once you create EC2 instances inside the private subnet, you need the public IP addresses. Okay, so for that purpose, this is required. Perfect. So we have subnet, route table, internet gateway, and security group. So this is all about this lab. And once you are done, you can go ahead and simply sign it out and then destroy the environment. So for that, click on destroy sandbox environment, check yes, and copy destroy option. So type destroy and destroy the sandbox environment. Thank you for watching this video.
Wizlabs, success certified.